I should not be giving this speech. Some of you may think that I'm trying to defy the assignment, while others of you may think that I decided to go last in order to decide if I really wanted to speak with you today. These are good guesses, but it's simply not the case. I should not be giving this speech because there were 3 experiences from which I should have died had it not been for the grace of God. By facing death in a very personal way, the way I face you today, I've learned to make direct eye contact with life by cherishing each moment. I had a form of spinal meningitis in 1984. I was almost drowned in a pool, and last winter I was almost in a car accident. When I was 2 years old, I had bacterial spinal meningitis. The doctor said I was going to die. They said if I lived, and it was a big if, that I would be brain damaged, paralyzed, and deaf. However, none of that prognosis is true because I am alive, I'm not brain damaged, I'm not paralyzed, and my hearing was above normal when they tested it. Looking back on this experience, I realized that life is precious and that I should live every moment to the fullest. In life, some say sink or swim, and I almost sank as a boy tried to drown me. About 8 summers ago, at a Jellystone Park in Indiana, a boy I didn't even know tried to hold me under the water with his foot. I really thought I was going to die that day, but somehow I broke free. It was yet another reminder that life is precious. As I traveled down the road to taking life for granted again, I almost got into a car accident. Last winter, on the way to a youth group activity, I found myself on an ice and water mixture. I hydroplaned for about a half a mile on a road that had no shoulders and ditches along both sides of the road. As if this wasn't bad enough, the water splashed onto the windshield and froze, so I couldn't see where I was going. I know that God was steering the car that day, and it was yet another reminder that life is precious. A childhood illness, a scary pool experience, and a close call in my car have led me to one very important conclusion about myself. I am now a person who tries to find the value in each moment of life. As I said, I should not be giving this speech. Many people do not enjoy giving speeches, but I, for one, am very glad to have had the opportunity to stand in front of you today.
When I was in 4th grade, my dad, being an architect, decided to remodel our house. Little did I know that today, nearly 9 years later, this remodeling job would still be going on, and my house would still not be finished. I like to think that my life is a lot like my house. It all starts with the blueprints. My dad has planned the dimensions of every room. He knows the materials needed to finish the job. And he has a mental picture of what the finished product will be. I believe that in my life, God is my architect, knowing who and what I would be before I was ever born. That I would be 5 feet, 5 inches tall, that I would love to make vanilla milkshakes, and that I would be standing in front of you today at Olivet Nazarene University. Throughout my childhood, my house has been a construction site. Every day, things would change. Often, I'd come home from school and see that another wall had been torn down or a new light fixture had been installed. I've grown accustomed to the sound of a nail gun on a late summer evening and the cleanup that drywall dust requires. Change has penetrated my personal life as well. When at 6, I asked Christ into my life as my personal Savior. As I've grown in my walk with Christ, my values in life has changed. This is especially evident to me this last year, when halfway through my basketball season, I injured my knee. The injury prevented me from finishing out the season with the team. God decided to take away some of my own dreams, but in His time has been replacing them with some of His own. This just shows that some things in life are more important than others. What does a person prioritize? On our house construction this last April, we finished our jacuzzi room. But we still don't have carpet in any of the floors throughout the house. In my own life, some areas still need carpeting. I just started doing my laundry 2 weeks ago when I got here at Olivet, and I have much to learn on what it means to become independent. That's why I think my life is like my house. The blueprints are there, the changes are there, and the priorities too. What remains, though, is one question. When will my house be completed?
Girls, let me talk to you for a second. Just imagine yourself on the front porch after a date with the guy you've been crushing on since freshman year. The guy who causes you to lose your breath every time he walks past. But as you go in for that goodnight kiss you've been waiting your whole entire high school career for, you lay it right on his forehead. Okay, let me talk to the guys in the room for a second. Just picture yourself in a movie theater with a girl you've just met and are really excited to be with. But when you go for the yawn and arm around the shoulder move, you notice that your arm doesn't reach to that height, and you suddenly remember that your date is 6'1", and your arm doesn't reach to that altitude. Hello, my name is Chelsea Roundtree, and I am vertically challenged, yet not in the common use of the phrase. I am 6'1" at age 18, and I just stopped growing. I've lived my whole life being the tall girl, the tree, the jolly green giant, the girl who can't sit in the front row because she blocks the projector. But now it's not so horrible. When I was younger, being tall didn't exactly boost my self-confidence. I stuck out in the crowd like Marilyn Manson showing up at a Nazarene church service. I hated to go to school knowing that my pants would never quite touch the ground as all the other little short girls. I never really enjoyed the fact that my friends could actually look like my children. And knowing that anyone I wanted to take to prom had to wear platform shoes didn't exactly boost my self-confidence. But now, I don't mind being the tall freak. In fact, I love it. Now when I go shopping, I don't run from the high heel section. And I don't make sure I'm sitting down when I get that great goodnight kiss. And instead of the guy putting their arm around me, I put my arm around them. Why be conventional? And I don't mind that all my friends are shorter than me, because that just makes me more noticeable for the hot guys walking past. A wise man once said, shorter people are more likely to get stepped on, and taller people are more likely to get shot. I prefer the gun over the shoe.